Good morning, Marie. Unmute.
Sorry.
There you go. Could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see. You can see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I'm
So,
sorry I'm late. Am I
that's
the only
okay.
one?
No, Carolyn asked me to sub for her this morning. Something came up that she can't do it.
Not a
So,
problem.
no problem. All right. So before we begin, she gave me a general idea, but she really didn't tell me too much. But it doesn't really matter. Not really. As long as you're comfortable, that's all that matters. Okay.
I'm good.
So we're going to go over. She told me that you went over some breath work, Kapalabhati, alternate nostril. You've been playing a little bit with the Yoga Sutras,
Yes.
right? And I think she talked about the first one, Ahimsa.
Yes.
Any
Also
other
did.
ones?
No. Well,
Okay.
she's going over the books. Niyamas
Yes.
and
Yamas
this
and
one.
Niyamas.
this
Right.
one too.
Okay.
But we just got them. I just got these books, and so she hasn't
okay.
gone into them at all, except she reads to us from them. She has done that in the past.
All right. So, and she intertwines, she weaves the sutras into the practice.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is how long is it? An hour, more or less?
45 minutes.
Okay. Are you settled? Are you firm in 45 minutes, or could I go over a little bit?
Sure, you can go
Okay. So I may go over a little bit.
over. Okay,
Okay.
no problem. Am I the only person here?
I think so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Usually Nala comes.
Oh, okay.
He's been coming a little bit because she couldn't do it today.
Well, I'll wait 2 more minutes.
All
to
right.
see if she comes on. This way we won't start and then be interrupted. Okay. So, you know, since this is the first time I'm teaching you pranayama, and, you know, we teach a little differently.
Sure.
Yeah, as you know, because you've been in both our classes.
Mhm.
And I, in fact, since March, I've been, I practice every morning, and I have a teacher that I've been practicing with for about 3 or 4 months. So he's from Chicago.
Oh, wow.
He's a great teacher. I met him, I don't know, 10 years ago, and I hosted him a few times. And his name is Gabriel Halpern. He's originally from Brooklyn, and he moved out to Chicago. He's a professor, and he's a very, very cool guy. Very cool guy. You know, he's Jewish guy from Brooklyn, and he calls himself a Hindu.
A Hindu? Hindu
Hindu.
Jewish. Hindu Jewish.
Hindu.
Yes.
Right.
It's a good one.
He's a really interesting guy. So I may be incorporating 1 or 2 practices that you haven't learned from her yet, but you'll be, you know, it won't be a problem. Okay.
Okay.
So again, it's always good to study with another teacher to get another viewpoint. You see. So
well, I had another teacher before you for 2 years.
pranayama teacher?
No, it was a yoga teacher.
A yoga teacher, right? From Bayonne?
Yes, she went to an ashram in Pennsylvania.
I think I know her.
Probably do.
She was around a long, long time in Bayonne, right?
Young,
she was like
young
the only yoga
she was
teacher.
Kind of young person.
Yeah.
Asha
and she went,
was her name. Asha.
Asha, yeah, and she went to an ashram.
Ashram in Pennsylvania, yeah.
Yeah.
After the 2 years, she went to an ashram.
Yeah.
And then you came.
Right. And we still haven't decided whether that's a blessing or a curse.
Oh, it's a blessing.
Good.
People come into your life and teach you, it's always a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I guess Nada's not coming.
I guess not.
So let's just begin with, are you sitting in a chair? Good.
I'm sitting in a chair, yes.
Okay. So have a nice seat and just move your hips back a little bit. And then bring your shoulders back so that your shoulders are in line with your hips.
Okay.
Keep the spine. Okay, so we say straight, but you know the spine isn't straight.
Mhm.
But with the straight spine, lift the chest a bit. And with your shoulders, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Okay, up, back, and down. Yeah, and one more, up, back, and down. And really get a sense of that thoracic spine, the spine between the shoulder blades, okay? That
Mhm.
keeps the body nice and straight, okay? So, and Carolyn also told me that you've been practicing bandha work.
Yes, we've been
Right.
doing the bandha work for the last couple of weeks.
Okay. So we'll incorporate some of that. So let's begin. And just observe your natural inhalation and exhalation, which is letting the breath breathe you, not trying to extend it or control it in any way, just letting the breath breathe you. And as the breath is breathing you, notice there's slight movement in the body,
Mhm.
in the upper body, okay? Even maybe in the abdomen. So as we breathe, the abdomen extends outward and backward a bit, and we can feel the lifting of the chest a tiny bit. So this is the work of the diaphragm muscle. It's that large dome-shaped muscle that sits underneath the lungs. So let's place our palms together. And again, we'll begin with chanting Om 3 times. And Om, chanting Om is like, it's not singing and it's not speaking. It has an identity of itself, but that identity is also a way and means of controlling the breath. So even when we sing, we control the breath. Okay, and chanting is also a way of controlling the breath. So lower the eyelids from top to bottom. Exhale, inhale, and pause, and using the breath completely. Oh. Inhale, pause. Oh. Inhale, pause. Oh. Bow your head to the Lord within, however you perceive that Lord to be, whatever name, whatever form, and lifting your head and lower your hands. So when we lower our head, okay, it's related to a bandha, the third bandha, okay? So, but we lower our head, the bandha is just a little bit more active, Okay. So we're going to be lowering our head back off and on during the class. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a gentle fist and place it underneath on our chest. And we're going to lower our chin to the hand. Yes, and then take the hand away. And now lift your head. So that's the amount of lowering your head. We're not going to bring the chin until maybe later on in the class, but when we lower our head, we lower it just so the chin is directed toward the chest, as well as the chest directed toward the chin without locking. Okay, without locking. So in relationship to the yamas and the niyamas, okay, when we practice the yamas and the niyamas, the yamas and the niyamas is really the whole basis of yoga. Okay, so, and by the, as we practice the 8 limbs, it's said traditionally that the impurities are drawn away and we get to see the light that overcomes darkness. The darkness is traditionally considered as ignorance, things that we don't know. So the 8 limbs are the yamas, which is abstinence, the niyamas, which is the observances. Okay. Now the abstinent, the yamas are for others. And the niyamas, the observances, are for, no, it's just the opposite. The yamas are for us, the niyamas are for others. Okay. And then comes asana. So in the beginning, when we were learning yoga, when they were taught yoga, you first had to learn the limbs, the 8 limbs of yoga, which is called Ashtanga. Okay. So there were the yamas, the niyamas, and then you were taught asana. And then when you had a general feeling for the asanas, then and only then were you taught pranayama. And the reason for that is you had to learn to live a righteous life. Then through the yamas and the niyamas, and then asana to control the body, and then the most subtle part is the pranayama. Okay? So you were never taught pranayama without a knowledge of asana and yamas and niyamas. And then came pratyahara, which is withdrawal of the senses, not seeing, not hearing, not speaking, almost like shavasana, but not shavasana. But it's related to that. So part of shavasana, asana, was learning how to withdraw from the senses. And then came dharana, which is concentration. Okay. Then came meditation. And then came samadhi, which is a total absorption. Some people call it surrender to your deity. It's like that. So once you have a general knowledge of the yamas and the niyamas, you could practice them opposite. So you begin by surrendering to your Lord, your deity. And then when you surrender, then truly can you go into meditation. And then after meditation, you realize that you must have concentration to be able to meditate. And you must have concentration to be able to do the rest of the yamas. So then you go into sense withdrawal, which is just being still with the eyes closed, listening within instead of moving outward, listening without. And then you had your breath control, your pranayama, control of your breath. And then when you have control of the breath, then in fact, you can really deepen your asana practice because you incorporate the breath with the asanas, where at the beginning we learn the asanas and then we include the breath. This way you learn the breath and then you take the breath into your asanas. And then once you go through that, the observances are relatively easy and the abstinence is relatively easy, relatively. So that's the yamas, the 8 limbs from top to bottom and from bottom to top. So the first yama, okay, which is the most sacred of all the yamas, of all the practices in every organized religion and unorganized religion, is nonviolence, not creating harm. So the yamas are, nonviolence, truthfulness, not stealing, continence, and not being greedy. Okay. So that's the yamas. So you can see that the yamas really have to do with others as well as ourselves. Okay. So the first one, nonviolence. Okay. Now, sometimes it's called, not harming. But I like nonviolence because it's a little more concise. So not harming, we know what it's like to not harm another person. But nonviolence works a little different way. Nonviolence could be slamming a door. Nonviolence could be, yelling at someone. That's harmful, but it's more nonviolent. You don't want to be violent. Now, non-harming it's very interesting in that for me, it's more about your intention. If you go out and you step on an ant and you kill it, is that not harming? If you go out and you see an ant and you really have to stomp on it to kill it, there's a difference.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. The intention to kill it, to cause it harm, is a lot different than it happening and you don't even know it, and which we probably do it many times during the day. Unknown to us, we kill a bug or whatever. And there's always, like, in all the sort of rules, so to speak, there's always questions and there's always people trying to knock you off your center and so on and so forth. And that's where a lot of being a vegetarian comes in. Some people don't become vegetarians because they don't want to kill an animal, okay? And then there's other people who say, well, yeah, but you're wearing a leather belt. So there's always someone out there to challenge your belief system for whatever the reason. It's, people are just sometimes just people, and you wonder why. So I think it has a lot to do with it. And all of it starts with yourself, not harming yourself. And the most important factor in that is negative thoughts about yourself. Oh, I did this pose lousy. Oh, I'm getting fat. Oh, I had a piece of my grandchild offered me a piece of hot dog and I really don't eat it, but I took a bite. Whatever it is, oh, how could I do that? Or making these judgments on yourself. Okay. And then, when you go into truthfulness, that's a tough one too. But when you tell the truth, and you may have heard me say this in class, you could see me and you could say, oh, look at that older guy with a big nose. Now, in a different perspective, that could be true, but it's harmful. Not only is it causing me harm, but it's causing you harm because you're saying that. You're intentionally trying to harm me in some sarcastic way by addressing what I look like. And you'll find most people, when they do something like that, they seem to attack the physical body of someone else. Okay, so truthfulness is a tough one. You always go back to the first one. Will it cause harm? Okay, and non-stealing. Okay, Ashtega, non-stealing. Uh, now, if you really want to get technical about it, do we steal other people's thoughts? Do we give them credit? You go to a class with me and you learn something, and then you go teach a class and you say, oh, look at this. I want you to do this. Now, in principle and in tradition, you would say, I went to class with Christopheray and I learned this. Okay, so you gave the person you learned it from the credit. Not that it's needed, but it's nice. Okay, so that's an important one. Giving credit where credit is due, and when you think of non-stealing, of course we don't rob a bank, and do we cheat, so to speak, on our income tax? I mean, when we take an extra $10 for a contribution and all that, and of course the rationale is, well, government allows you to do that. They allow you to take more on taxes or whatever, so you do it. Okay, now, is that stealing? I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, is that cheating? I don't know. We all have to find within ourselves how to live. The yamas and the niyamas. Very difficult. That's one of the you must remember. Yoga is at least 3,000 years old, and those dudes lived in a cave, so they had a lot of stuff they didn't have to worry about. They didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's true. We worry about a lot more now.
Yeah, they walked around with a bowl and they got donations. So, and then you have continence or brahmacharya. So now brahmacharya back in the day was strictly on a sexual level. Okay, strictly on a sexual level. And it was because yoga was for men, women were not allowed because women were not worthy. Okay. And you have all these people, it makes me laugh. They rant and rave about India, for years and for centuries, the way they treated women. And then you're going to talk to me about ahimsa?
Were treating women?
What?
You're saying were treating women.
Yeah.
And it's not the past tense.
No,
it's still happening now.
They still are. They still are. Absolutely.
Absolutely. The caste system is definitely does not fit into the IMSAs.
Right. So, but most of these observances, so to speak, are more for your mind than for your body. So like with brahmacharya, not wasting your sexual energy, not taking advantage of someone for your own sexual pleasure. Okay. That's stealing and it's harmful. But as a lot of the monks do, what the monks do is they go into, being celibate, because brahmacharya originally meant celibacy. But they were celibate in their body, but not in their mind. When I was first practicing yoga, I was celibate for a little bit over a year. But every woman that I seen mentally, I was being lustful. So there's real Brahma. Now, where is brahmacharya? Where is your head at? Okay. So that's always something that, again, it's all mental stuff. It's all mental stuff. And, non-greed. Non-greed is an interesting one. When I was involved in a lot of teacher trainings, I would say, I would try to be very small words, short sentences. And I would say, well, how many pairs of shoes do you have? And of course, people would say, well, I have 50. Well, in the summer, I have my clogs. In the winter, I have my boots and my sandals and my high heels and my low heels and blah, blah, blah. And of course, the typical answer was, well, you only have 2 feet. That's another thing, non-greed, wanting what someone else has, whether you need it or not. So basically, that's the first in yamas. That's the yamas, basically. Okay. So the one we'll work with mostly is, of course, no harm. So we'll do a little breath work. Okay. We'll do some breath work with some combinations of different things, and then we'll incorporate a bandha or two. Okay. So let's begin with now. In all these practices, each teacher has their own particular bend on it. Okay. So and it's not comparing, it's just a different view. Okay. The same ingredients, but different pizza. Okay. So let's begin with just sitting still. Now, some people find this a little uncomfortable to comprehend, but pranayama has a lot to do with the ears. Has a lot to do with the ears. Most people say, well, it's just the nose or it's just the mouth. But you know what? When you go to a doctor, it's ears, nose, and throat.
Oh, yes.
They're all connected. Okay.
Yes, they are.
So, can we hear the sound of our breath? Which is a whole other aspect of meditation. Listening to ourselves breathe. Listening to the friction of the inhalation and the exhalation. So let's begin with just, we'll have 3 minutes of restorative breathing, which means no control, no direction, just sitting and letting the breath breathe you the way it does when you're sleeping. Okay. So starting now, close the eyes, tilt your chin a bit. And observing with the eyes of your ears the sound and the sensation of the breath as it slowly enters and exits. And after your next exhalation, gently lift the eyelids. Well done. So restorative breath is the most important breath to learn and to practice. Okay? All the other stuff, Maria, they're just techniques. And these techniques are to be practiced so that your restorative breath brings you deeper. It's like sleep. Sleep is a great healer. That's because you're in a different mindset, okay? And the breath, your natural breath, okay, that enters and exit is not under your control, and it's very restorative. You know, the breath is very healing. So these techniques are used to practice awareness, and to practice to practice awareness, you need to be alert. And to be alert, you first have to come from a place of being restored. What you can't be alert if you're tense. You could come to be alert when you're restored and you feel good. So there's one practice that can be practiced anytime. Okay. Well, it's said that you should be able to do breath work if you were on a crowded train and you would not disturb people. Now, a lot of the techniques that we use, alternate nostril, Kapalabhati, is disturbing. And people will look at you and think like, what the hell what is she doing? Is she blowing her nose in her hand? What is she doing? You know, holding her breath. What is she, crazy? So again, this is part of, after those techniques, you don't do those techniques because you don't want to draw attention to yourself. You don't want to disturb yourself. You don't want to disturb others, because that's potentially harmful to disturb other people. Okay. So this is a practice called Ujjayi. Okay. And you breathe like, it's called the glottis or the glottis. It's a muscle in the back of the throat that you sort of close. And it's like if you go like on your glasses, okay, or when it's the winter and you go and you see your breath, okay. So it's the same sound with the mouth closed. So when you inhale to the back of the throat. So we'll practice this 5 times. Okay. So incorporate the ears and listen to your sound. The breath should sound like be a connoisseur of your breathing. The breath could sound like today, a windy day with that wind blowing through the trees. It's like a whoosh. It's like, in fact, it's whispering your breathing. Like when I'm speaking to you, if I start to whisper, automatically the glottis gets engaged. Okay, so can we breathe? Whisper our breath. Okay, so we're going to do that 5 times. So no expectations. No expectations. Okay, just experience. Not deep breathing, just breathe. Okay. So again, reestablish your seat. Lower your eyelids. Tilt your chin down a bit. Yes. No bandha, just tilt your chin down. Now, whisper. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, inhale. Go at your pace. Third time, exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, inhale. Restorative breath. Let the breath breathe you. 3 breaths. No ujjayi, just natural breath. Restorative breath. And after 3 breaths, open your eyes. Let the breath breathe you. Restore. Okay, so in restoration, there's no mind work. There's no analyzation. There's no correcting. It's just restoring, letting the breath breathe you. So that we can, we can pay homage to our breath and be grateful to the breath and be happy we're alive to breathe. So, I'm going to go into Kapalabhati. Okay, so I'll explain the way I teach it, and then, you'll incorporate the way I teach it, because today I'm pretending to be the teacher and you're pretending to be the student, so we can complement each other. Okay. So Kapalabhati is the forceful exhalation of air. Okay, and it's forceful. The air is expelled out by the abdomen moving back. So when the abdomen moves back, the diaphragm muscle moves up against the lungs, forcing the air to come out. And then when you inhale, the diaphragm muscle moves down, creating more space in the lungs to take in more air. So sometimes the basic way, and we'll do the basic way, is you'll take one hand and place it on your abdomen by your belly button. Okay. So we'll do, I'll do 1. No, I'll do 3, and then you'll join me after 3, and we'll do 10 together. Okay? So, always begins with an exhalation. I'll exhale, I'll inhale, and I begin. Join me. After 10, exhale. Restorative breath. Good. So we'll do another round. Okay, now anytime during the practice, if you feel yourself getting out of breath, because I know you have a sometimes condition, okay, then you'll stop, right? You'll stop and go immediately into restorative breath. Okay, so for me to be able to see you, when we do this work, you'll have your chin slightly down, but not in a bandha, just down. Okay, so I'll do 10, and you'll do I'll do 20, and you'll do as many as you can. And as soon as you raise your head, it'll be restorative breath, and you'll do 3 restorative breaths. So then I'll know where we're at. Got it? So tilt the chin down a bit. Now do 3 ujjayi breathing, whispering your inhalation, whispering your exhalation. Another one. One more. Now, no inhale, hand on your abdomen, and 20. Restorative breath. 3 restorative breaths. Notice the difference between the first one and the third one. Good. So we're going to do a combination, okay? And Carolyn told me she hasn't taught you this, but she's taught you Nadi Sodhana, alternate nostril, right?
Yes.
So Viloma 1 is interruption of the breath, okay? So for practice purposes, we'll use the count of 3. So watch, I'll just show you. So we'll always begins with exhalation is the signal that something's coming, okay? So I'll exhale, then I'll inhale, then I'll exhale, then I'll inhale and wait. I'll inhale and wait. I'll inhale and wait. And then a long, slow exhalation. Now, the 3-part breath, the first part is the bottom of the lungs, which in teaching purposes we call the belly. Belly expands, okay? But as you know, there are no lungs in the belly. It's the diaphragm. So inhaling 1, lower ribs. Inhaling 2, the nipple line. Inhaling 3, from above the nipple line to the collarbones is 3. So it'll be exhale, inhale, wait. Inhale, wait. Inhale, wait. And then a 6 count exhalation. And then 1 restorative breath. Okay? So take your stance. Yes. Tilt your chin down a bit. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Wait. Inhale. Wait. Inhale. Wait. Long, slow, 6 count exhalation. At the bottom of the exhalation, pick your chin up and 1 restorative breath. Okay? So now we'll do another one. Okay? Remember to bring your chin down so I could see when you're ready. Okay? So now it's going to be the same 3-part breath. Remember, the exhalation is always double the inhalation. Okay? So later on, you can increase the number. But for now, we'll stay in kindergarten. Okay? So the chin down. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Long, slow, 6 count exhalation. And then you'll raise the chin. Two restorative breaths. And again, lower the chin. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, stop. Inhale, stop. Inhale. Stop. Long, slow, 6-count exhalation. Two restorative breaths. Now, as we move deeper, okay, we want to keep the body still. Okay, so I noticed that when you inhale, I'll exaggerate.
Yeah. I feel that.
So we want to keep the body. This is why we learn to do the postures first, so we can control the body to keep it still. Okay, because when we move the body, or we get cramps, or crankiness in the body, I like to look at it as it's the body is just a mass of energy. Okay, and sometimes the energy gets crystallized in certain places. So we do the asanas to break that crystallization so that the energy can flow freely. And one of that ways is to keep the body still. So if we think of the lungs as two balloons, okay, so when we're breathing, even though there's a residual movement because of the lungs expanding and contracting, and they're connected to the underneath of the ribs, there has to be some movement, but we don't want to exaggerate it, especially this one. Okay, and I'm exaggerating. Okay, sometimes it's best to learn through exaggeration. So this is what happens. So as you begin to do your pranayama work, not only are you counting, but you're controlling the body. And at the same time, Maria, you're listening to your breath. So you see, right. And then, we talk about being in a present moment. Yeah. Which one?
Yeah.
It's all of them,
Yeah.
So let's go another round and really concentrate, keeping the body still. Okay, so natural inhalation, exhale, tilt your chin down. Inhale, pause. Don't lift your shoulders. Inhale, pause. Inhale, pause. Long, slow, 6-count exhalation. At the bottom, you'll do 3 restorative breaths, and then you'll lift your chin so I know you're ready for the next round. Well done. So when we're in class, when we do asanas, if I'm going to do asanas and then do some breath work, there'll always be shavasana in between, because the posture work, it unnerves you. It unnerves you. So you need to be calm to do the breath work, so you could be aware. The asanas will make us alert. We have to be alert, so we could have awareness. You can't be aware if you're not alert. Okay, so that was 3. Let's do 3 more. Now, we'll add another component. Okay, so the component will be lifting the pelvic floor, or mula bandha. Okay, So lifting the pelvic floor, I think it's a little more, for me, it is to describe that than to describe Mula Bandha. Okay, it's the same thing, but traditionally you would say Mula Bandha. And sometimes as you deepen your practice, you go into the Sanskrit terms. We use Sanskrit terms to honor the tradition. But, we must know what it means in English because we think in English. We're not Indians. We're not Indians, okay? So it's a lot easier. It's a lot clearer, and clarity is very important. It's a lot, clarity is much, think in your own language, especially Sanskrit. It's a dead language, like Latin. It's used, but they're dead languages. They're just used in rituals, more or less. They're the root, Latin is the root of English, but still, if you don't know Latin, you're pretty good in English. Sanskrit, you're pretty good in yoga as well, but it's not necessary. Not necessary. It's an add-on. Okay. So we're going to do the 3 interrupted breaths. Okay. And then when our chin is down, we're going to bring our chin down and do lift Mula Bandha. And then when we lift our head, we'll release Mula Bandha, long, slow 6-count exhalation. And the restorative breath will really be needed afterward. Okay. So if you get interrupted, just stop and go right to restorative breath. And I'll know because your head will be up. Okay. So we're going to introduce lift.
You froze.
Pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, and lowering the chin. What?
You froze a little bit.
And then we'll lower the chin all the way.
Okay.
Right. When we lift, okay, we're leaving out Uddiyana Bandha, the belly, for now. Okay. Right. So the 3 bandhas are actually there's more than 3, but the 3 main ones are the root, the belly, and the throat. Okay. So what you learn from the root lock, which is survival, the abdomen snapping the belly back, which is like cooking it up, and then the throat lock, okay, is how we express ourselves, how we express what we just learned in our practice. Okay, and you can't look for it; it'll come to you as you practice. So it's a lot. Chin down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Stop. Inhale. Stop. Inhale. Stop. Lifting the pelvic floor. Lower the chin totally to the chest. Wait. Lift the head. Release the root lock. 6-count exhalation. And 4 restorative breaths. Notice the difference in each restorative breath. So take a moment for reflection, how the body feels, how the mind feels, whether you're agitated, whether you're peaceful, whether you don't know how you feel, none of it matters. So Fifth round. That's good. Lower your chin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Mula Bandha. Chin lock. Lower your chin to your chest. 1, 2, 3. Lift your head. Release the root lock. 5 restorative breaths. Let the body move. Good. So now sometimes, sometimes you get a little lightheaded. Okay, because some people do, some people do these, some people do these practices very intensely, and they feel like they get high or an altered state. Okay. Whatever.
I have felt that.
Yeah. It's like, I can't think of the expression. So we'll do the last round, and then we're going to incorporate we're going to incorporate something else. Okay. So lower your chin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Mula Bandha. Jalahanda Bandha. Lower your chin to your chest. 1, 2, 3. Release the chin lock. Release Mula Bandha. 6 count exhalation. And then you'll do 5 restorative breaths.
That was a little, I got a little dizzy on that one.
Yeah. So then you know that you've gone too far. Actually, it's on me. I shouldn't have taken you that far, but there's no way of knowing,
It wasn't wild, but it was there.
Okay. So you could do the interrupted breath anytime, inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, pause. You can tell how much the count should be by your exhalation. If the 6 count exhalation makes you slightly rattle, then you have to lower the inhalation count. Okay, it would be to 2, and then exhale to 4. Okay, so the exhalation is always double the inhalation, traditionally. Now, so that's Viloma 1 is the interrupted breath on the inhalation. We're not going to do it, but I'll just tell you. Viloma 2 would be the interruption of the exhalation. Viloma 3 will be both.
Whoa.
So that you can just feel. Takes a lot. Yeah, it takes a while. And again, you know, we want it to be more like play than work, even though it is work, you know.
Hmm.
But if we keep it playful, you know, it's like kids, you know, they don't want to work, they want to play. So if you can make it playful, if you can make your yoga practice playful, you'll want to do it.
Yes.
You know, if you come to class, even though your mind may be a little lethargic, you still have, I'm going to play with this for a while, you know, and you just surrender into the teacher, and the teacher will encourage that, hopefully.
Mhm.
Okay.
You
So,
always have.
so let's just uh, a little bit of Nadi Sodhana or Nadi Sudha, alternate nostril breath.
Right?
And this is
Right.
this is very, what?
It's after 12 and I have to take a bathroom break.
Oh, okay. You want to, and you want to come back and we'll
Yeah, we'll
do
come back.
another 10
Sure.
minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'll be right back. Thank you for your patience.
So you see, I began our time together by saying, when you do the practices, without even you knowing it, it releases the impurities of the body.
Yes, that's right. And
Right.
they needed to be released.
Exactly. Okay. Right. So I may have taken you. I don't know, because I don't know how I know how she teaches. I don't know how far you've gotten. She told me about once a week for a month or 2 months or something like that. That you could,
We've been doing this for a couple of months now.
okay, once a week, right?
Once a
Okay.
week.
So I'm going by what I observe in your asana practice, and
Mhm.
it's been years, and I've
Yes.
been going by what I know of you and your essence. So you know, that's just the way I'm teaching you. I would teach someone else slightly different. And again, I'm giving you a couple of different techniques just to show you perhaps what's in the future or whatever. Okay.
Hmm.
So Nadi Sodhana is most common breath work, you know, the alternate nostril breathing, you know, the left side. Um, I don't go into the Ada, the Pingala, and the Shushumna. I just go by, to make it very basic. Left side is the moon, right side is the sun. Left side is feminine, right side is masculine. Okay. Um, and every 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 15 minutes, the energy changes from one nostril to the other. Okay. So lots of times, as you may have heard me say in the past, you know, the yogis, they would get up, they would do pranayama, and if the right side was open, they would do more active things. if the left side was open, they would do more passive things. They would eat when the right side was open. So generate the heat. Okay. Left side, write love letters or whatever. And the right side is, the right side is supposed to be the creative side, and the left side is the logical side. So a
It's the
little
opposite of the way it is.
observance, when you speak to somebody and you ask them a question that not a hard question, but a question that you may stump them, look at their eyes and see where they look. Sometimes they look up and to the left, logical, looking for the logical explanation. Now, there may be people, art majors or musicians. You ask them a question, their eyes just may move up to the right a bit because they're working on the creative angle. So it's different things,
Mhm.
And whenever we know these things, we never take advantage of it. It's just an observance. Okay? So in Nadi Sodha, alternate nostril, okay, just let me show you the way I'm going to show you it this morning. We make the gentle fist, okay, and fingers are down, other fingers are away, okay. Now, I don't know if you remember the hand, the thumb is God,
Mhm.
strongest digit of the hand. First finger is the individual. So when you point at someone, you accuse them, that's the accusing finger. 3 fingers are pointing to yourself. Right? You so-and-so. Yeah. You're pointing to them, accusing them, and the 3 fingers 3 times is going back to yourself. The middle finger, okay, which is like the finger that's always used. This is the ego finger. It's the largest finger of the hand. Okay, so that's the ego. The next finger, the marriage finger, is the finger of illusion. Yes. And the pinky is karma. Okay? So when we take our accusing and ego into the palm, okay, so the ring and pinky, illusion and karma, is on the left nostril, and the thumb, the Lord, is against the right nostril. Okay. So the right nostril, we do in the morning, the sun. In the evening, we start with the left nostril. Okay. So today we'll do both. Okay. So now, can you see my nose? Can you see my face? It's not this. Okay. It's this. It's not this where the nose is pushed over to the side. It's just the nostril closes. So take a gentle fist, rest it on your nostrils, exhale, close the left, open the right, inhale, close the right, open the left, exhale. Now, close the left, open the right, inhale. Close the right, open the left, exhale. Close the left, open the right, inhale. Close the right, open the left, exhale. Lower the hand, restorative breath. Okay, so I was doing Surya. Surya is the sun. I was just, all the inhalations were coming from the right side. Now we'll do Chandra. That means every inhalation will only be coming from the left. So make your fist, let your fingers rest on your nostrils. Okay, close the right, open the left, exhale through the left, Inhale through the left, pinch, open the right, exhale. Close the right, open the left, inhale. Pinch, open the right, exhale. Close the right, open the left, inhale. Close the left, open the right, exhale. Lower the hand, restorative breath. Well done. So again, if we're practicing before 12 in the morning, in the afternoon, the inhalation always comes out of the right. If we're practicing after 6 in the evening, the inhalation first always comes to the left. Now, when we've gained a certain knowledge of that, then we incorporate both. Okay. Now, different traditions teach it differently. Okay. So I know Carolyn's tradition, and I don't know how she teaches it, but this is the way I've been teaching it for a while.
She's very
So-
similar.
So now we'll take gentle fist. We'll take the ring and pinky on the left, the thumb on the right. We'll open the right. Inhale. Pinch. Open the left. Exhale. Inhale through the left. Pinch. Open the right. Exhale. Inhale through the right. Pinch. Open the left. Exhale. Inhale through the left. Pinch. Open the right. Exhale. Inhale through the right. Pinch. Open the left. Exhale. Inhale through the left. Pinch. Open the right. Exhale. Lower the hand. 3 restorative breaths. Good. So now we'll just jump ahead and we'll incorporate Viloma 1, 3-part breath.
Mhm.
Then incorporate Nadi Soothing. So watch. So I'll exhale, inhale. I'll exhale, inhale, wait, inhale, wait, inhale, wait. Open the right, exhale, inhale right, pinch, open the left, exhale. Inhale left, pinch, open the right, exhale. Lower the hand, restorative breath. That's 1 round. Okay? So, go slowly. Have your stance. Hands resting on your thighs. Tilt your chin a bit. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, wait. Inhale, wait. Inhale, wait. Make your fist, place it on your nostrils. Open the right, exhale. Inhale right. Pinch, open the left, exhale. Inhale left. Pinch, open the right. Exhale. Lower the hand. One restorative breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, wait, chin down. Inhale, wait. Inhale, wait. Hand to the nostrils. Open the right. Exhale. Inhale, right. Pinch. Open the left. Exhale. Inhale, left. Pinch. Open the right. Exhale. Lower the hand. 2 restorative breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Wait. Chin down. Inhale. Wait. Inhale. Wait. Gentle fist. Hold the nostrils. Open the right. Exhale. Inhale right. Pinch. Exhale left. Inhale left. Pinch. Exhale right. Lower the hand. Restorative breath. So sit back in your chair. Rest your head. Ten minutes. Close your eyes. Relax the legs. Relax the arms. Relax the hands. Let the breath breathe you. Restorative breath. I'll alert you in 10 minutes. And slowly, as you're ready, lift up your eyelid. So take the palms together at the heart. These are called the 4 reliances. Do not rely on individuals. Rely on the teachings. Do not rely on words. Rely on the meaning. Do not rely on the adjusted or adapted meaning. Rely on the ultimate meaning. And do not rely on intellectual knowledge. Rely on wisdom. And from the bridge of your nose, bow your head to the Lord within. May all beings be happy and know the causes of happiness. Thank you for your patience, Maria.
Thank you for teaching my yogi.
I'll see you soon, okay?
See you soon. Thursday.
Right. Peace out.
Thank you.